all three of us do SuperCoach content religiously. We hop on, we deep dive, everything like that. I found myself searching for some NRL fantasy content, and the buy round did an excellent challenge. They picked a team 1 to 17, NRL related, and took it in turns, drafting. You can snipe each other. Let's have a little bit of fun.
It's time to strap in and get ready. You're now listening to the Insight NRL Show with your hosts, Brain, Mattrix, and Whisperer.
G'day guys, welcome back. Shout out to James Graham from the Buy Round podcast for giving us the idea to run a bit of a fantasy draft. Matt, this is Mattrix's little baby that he's been harassing us about in the group chat for about 4 weeks now, and we thought, you know what, there's no better time now than 3 weeks out to rip in. Mattrix, you're pretty keen for this one, and I know your number one pick is surely going to be a Broncos player.
It might not, so then they can only let me down once.
So they had a good year last year, didn't they, Mattrix? I can feel that one a little bit close to your heart. Josh, we've had a little bit of time to kind of think about how we're going to approach this one. Tactics-wise, I know you're not going to want to give it away too much, but where are your initial thoughts?
2 NRL teams suck with options on who to pick here. So for anyone not familiar, our goal today is to do a draft in snake order. The draft order has been decided already. Somehow I pulled the first pick, Brain pulled the second, and Maddie pulled the third. So it will go me, Brain, Maddie, and then Maddie will go first to second round. We have to fill out a team 1 to 17. We have to pick one player from every NRL club. We cannot pick the same player. You cannot pick 2 players from the same club. It is one player from every club, including a bench, including a goal kicker, including a captain. So we have to factor all that in as we're picking. And boys, as I said, I somehow pulled the number 1 pick. And no surprise, I think Penrith are coming off my board, and as is Nathan Cleary, covering my captain, covering my goal kicker, and covering my halfback.
Fair call. You got to go with Cleary straight away, don't you? Like, we're picking a goal kicker as well, which complicates things a little bit because you don't want to leave that too late either. So, getting one of the best players in the league, goal kicks and captain, you're ticking a ton of boxes. And now I've got to move him off my board, which is annoying.
On to you now, Braino.
It's me. All right. Well, I guess it's hard to look past either halfback or fullback. We know that they're the, premier players in the competition. But, in saying that, prop is a pretty tough position. And there are 2 teams that I'm really looking at that are really struggling. And I think I'm confident enough that they're going to come back to me. So for me, my first pick is Latrell Mitchell from Souths. I think I'm going to go with Trell. I think that, yes, there's some other options at South, and it wipes out South completely for me. But for me, and we also didn't mention the fact that you can only pick 1 player per team.
Yes.
So now that I've picked Trell, I can't pick Murray, I can't pick Keon, I can't pick Cody Walker, any of those guys. But I've been high on Trell all season. I need to follow the narrative that I'm buying into stock into Latrell in every single platform, and that includes this fantasy draft. Mattrix, who's your first pick, mate?
Look, it's a pretty easy one for me. Not a huge fan of the Gold Coast Titans, and I think it's daylight to second from David Fafita downwards. It's daylight for second when it comes to salary cap. I suppose Brumo's played pretty well, but I'm not adding him in my team, so I'm actually going to add David Fafita as my second row forward early off. Just get him on, get the Titans off my books. I don't have to worry about some of the Panthers players getting taken now. I only have to worry about Braino because Josh has, I suppose, already been there. But with I'm of course going back to back. I'm going to go Kalen Ponga from the Knights as well. I'm just going to get that fullback out of the way. He can goal kick if I get in trouble a bit later on as well. I might be able to find somebody that's a little more consistent than Ponga. I'm going to take the Knights off the board. I'm going to take Ponga. I'm going to chase that upside. Hopefully he stays healthy for the rest of the year. It's a bit of a sexy pick.
I like it. I think with this draft, with this fantasy draft specifically, we're looking at positions that aren't really deep. So taking my first pick as a fullback might have been a little bit spicy, considering you've got so many other great fullbacks in the league that you can fall back on.
I get full round. I can basically sit here. I've got every fullback to choose from. I can wait now, which is unreal.
But the one I think there's also a position that is really not deep at all and has zero depth, and I think that's halfback this year. I think there's Nathan Cleary at number 1. I think Nico Hines at number 2, and I think there's daylight between anyone below those two guys. So Nico Hines from the Sharks is going to be my number 2 pick, which wipes out the Sharks for me as well. Josh, we're back to you, mate, for your second.
We are, and I just want to preface, we actually aren't doing any SuperCoach content around this, but what I might do is see if we can set up a 3-team draft, and we might plug these ones in and let it sit for all season long. No waivers, no trades, or nothing. And we'll see how this goes. You talk about positions that have a dearth of drop-off, and for me, it's hooker, and the fact that I've got the world's best number 9 fall into my lap to pair with Nathan Cleary, I think is too hard to pass up. The fact that I've got a halfback rules out
Tyrant Wishart.
Tyrant Wishart. The fact that you've taken a halfback as well, so it just leaves sort of Jerome Hughes there as well. I don't need him. I've got Cleary, so I'm going to take Harry Grant, which takes off Melbourne for me, of course. And then it gets interesting as to where we go, because there are positions that do have stuff that is lacking in terms of, I've got a list of sort of 3 names per club here, and there isn't a whole lot. I am going to take, it may be very early, but I'm going to take Payne Haas. It could be super early, but prop is, it can drop off, especially the fact that another, I guess Matty has handcuffed himself into not taking, I guess, the other best prop that there is available. So I'm gonna round out with Payne Haas as my prop forward.
You just said he's handcuffed him into not being able to take a Titans prop in Tino. Now, strangely, I'm not either.
No.
And the reason for it, I'm going to take a prop, but I'm not taking Tino. And the reason for it is that the Canberra Raiders
fuck off.
They fucking suck.
They got no one.
I looked at the Canberra Raiders team this, and I literally had 4 players per every single team when I was doing the notes when my kid was going to bed. And there is one player on the Raiders that I want, and that's Joseph Tarpany. And so Joseph Tarpany is my next pick in the number 8. And the Raiders are off the board, and thank fuck for that, because they are really tough to look at on this screen right now. Mattrix, you're up.
Look, I'm going to, look for some X factors. I'm going to start to look for a little bit of, I suppose, leadership in my team. You were talking about dog shit teams. And the Dragons are still an NRL club. But I'm not going to go there. That's just a dig at Dragons fans. I'm going to go Valentine Holmes. With the number 3 with the Eels. I know, it means I can't get Moses or Brown, but I'm pretty confident elsewhere. I'm going to go Val with that one. So that takes the Eels off the board for me.
Wait,
hang on, the Dragons,
Lomax?
you mean?
Do you mean Lomax?
Yeah. Hang on, who are you picking? Lomax or Val?
No. I'm going to take Val. Sorry. I was
for the Dragons.
Eels are back on the board.
Yeah, Eels are back on the board. Sorry. Actually, that's why I was prefacing that. I'm going to go Lomax as well.
Cool. Double center.
Right.
There's your goal kicker. So you've got 2 goal kickers right there.
Yeah, I'm cucking you. I'm handcuffing all of you guys by taking all the good goal kickers.
What do you mean?
No,
I've got Nico Hines, so I'm fine.
Oh, Nathan Cleary. Oh, no.
Yeah, you've got Joseph Tarpany there because I've got
in the league. Oh, no.
Yeah, you guys
okay.
suck.
I've also got Latrell Mitchell. So basically, when Latrell Mitchell gets suspended and injured this year, I've got Nico Hines that can still kick goals. So we're fine. I've got it covered there. I've got a backup goal kicker.
Also pick KP as well, Mattrix?
No,
I've got him as well. I've got them all.
He's just picking goal kickers. Love it. So at the moment, I've got. Did you go both picks? You went both Lomax and Val. Is that right?
Val. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah,
I've got Latrell Mitchell at fullback, Nico Hines in the 7, Tarpany in the 8, and I'll tell you another position that's not exactly deep. It's 5'8", and I didn't pick Harry Grant. The Storm is still available for me, so I'm going to go with my boy Cam Munster.
Oh, yes, because you drafting Cam Munster has always ended very well, hasn't it?
No, it doesn't let me down 2 years in a row. It's the rule. He can't do it to me 2 years in a row. He already let me down last year, so I'm safe with Cam Munster as my 6, and the Storm are off the board. Josh?
Very good, very good. I guess it's on me. I'm just trying to work out where we want to go. So we've got the Raiders who are dearth of talent, but there is 2 options that I'm okay with taking. So if Mattrix does take a Raider, I'm okay with that.
We need some bench players too, though.
Yeah, of course.
From the Raiders.
The Titans have a severe drop-off. I am just going to take Tino. I think I want to get... There's 2 good players at the Titans, and I'll take the one of the better 2. So I'm going to take Tino for Asu and Malawi. So my middle, basically, is Grant, Tino, and Haas. It's not a bad little middle to have. Boys, center is looking quite dire. I'm going to take... Oh, do I? Yeah, I'm going to take Stephen Crichton. Bit of leadership, bit of premiership experience, and center is dire.
Fair call. I did a list of most of my players, and I from each team I have 4 players per team, and I swear to God I pick like 2 centers the whole time. Yeah. So it's going to be brutal. I might follow your lead, and we know in a normal draft, Josh. Do you have one more pick, or have you made both?
No, I made both. I took Tino and Crichton.
In a normal draft, sometimes you need to follow the lead of the trend that's happening within the draft, right? Especially you got to follow the run. And I think there might be a run of center coming, considering Josh has just taken his Stephen Crichton. And, the Dolphins have a really nice draw to start the season, boys. And it'd be rude of me not to consider the best looking bloke in the NRL in Herbie Farnworth. So he's in my team, and the Dolphins are off the board. Mattrix?
Mate, I'm a bit offended. I'm glad I've got the floor here. I'm a bit offended that you guys didn't like the idea of whoever got the least amount of votes would have to do a challenge. And my challenge was run a 6K with 6 beers in a backpack and have to drink 1 beer after every kilometer. I'm disappointed in you guys. I thought I had co-hosts, but I've just got mice. I'm not going to go Jesse Arthurs. I just want you guys to know that early on in the piece. I'm going to go Angus Crichton from the Roosters. I think I still don't have a halfback, but I also prefaced quite early with you guys in the group chat. Are we taking injuries into account? And I won't be selecting Sam Walker from the Roosters. I'm going to go. I'm going to go Gus Crichton there at 12. So I've actually got two edge back rowers and 2 centers locked in relatively early. I can probably leave front row forward for a little bit. You guys have went a bit heavy early, but there is there's a couple guys there. Give me a second. Feel free to talk amongst.
I actually really like this. I do like the idea of us putting this team into a SuperCoach draft, and we just let it run all season.
I do like that. We'll see how we go. Yeah, absolutely. I'm looking through and I'm scrambling at the moment thinking, okay, these players are gone. I don't need fullbacks. I don't need halfbacks. I don't need 5'8s. And I'm trying to update my list at the moment. This is just chaos, pure chaos.
I feel like I'm in a good position. Like I've come quite prepared. Like I am removing players on my phone as the list happens.
It's exactly what I'm doing in my notes.
Yeah, me too.
Maddie, where are you up to?
Men struggle.
I'm gonna go Terrell May and just take him out of the equation when it comes to the Tigers. You guys have went pretty heavy on front row forward. I am very aware that we're gonna need probably at least one bench front row forward as well. So Terrell May is my second selection. So we've got Angus Crichton, Terrell May in my round 3, 4.
Nice.
Angus Crichton, Terrell May, lovely. All right, I've got a decision. Do I take another prop, knowing that they're starting to come off the board now? Do I look into edges? I feel like there's a lot of value on the edge in most teams, so I feel like I'm going to have some picks later on in the draft. The one team I'm looking at who has basically taken the majority of the picks out of play for me is the Parramatta Eels. I can't pick Dylan Brown because I've gone with Munster. I can't pick Moses because I've gone with Hines. I can't pick Lomax because Mattrix has already taken him. And the other man that I want from this team is Jermaine Hopgood. So I think I'm going to lock in Jermaine Hopgood at 13 and wipe the Eels out because the options at the Eels were starting to fucking disappear very quickly. So Jermaine Hopgood at the 13 for me. Josh.
Yes. I can get behind that. I'm just trying to work out. Has Dylan Brown been taken?
No.
Cool. Okay. And you both have taken 5/8 now, which is great.
Yes.
No,
Alrighty.
I haven't.
You haven't? Okay, cool. All right. South Sydney. I want a good ball playing middle. I want the pick because there's not many other people from Southside want. So I'm going to take Cam Murray. So he's coming off the board at 13 for me. And boys,
Follow the run.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind getting my hands on a 5/8. Let's just be safe. I know that you haven't taken one, but you've taken a Tiger, so I could have waited on this pick, but I'm not going to. It's going to be Jerome Luai. I'm going to pair Luai with Cleary. Not a bad little. I think they could do
premiership winning.
I think they could do good things together.
You reckon? Yeah, good.
Yeah, so.
I like that. Very nice. I'm in a tough spot at the moment because I think there's one team, and I'm not going to. It's the Gold Coast Titans, and the options are running out from the Gold Coast Titans, and there's one guy there that I think I'm looking at that I'll pick later on in the draft. So it's about what position I'm going to prioritize now, and I think when I look at the Panthers, I can't pick Edwards anymore. I can't pick Yo. And the next best option for me from the Penrith Panthers is that one of the best base stat beasts in the competition on the wing is Brian To'o. Nice. So Brian To'o comes in on the wing for me from the Panthers, and the Panthers are off the board.
Has Yo been taken, or you've just taken?
No, Yo hasn't been taken, but I took Hopgood. So
yeah, cool. I had him
just
circled. I was like, fuck.
Just to question this, are we obviously some players can play multiple positions? Are we just going with their main position as the way we'll
vote? We'll vote. If you want to do something rogue, you ask us and we'll say yes or no.
Is that Isaiah Yo at prop?
No.
That's a no from me.
No.
Good. Okay, just double checking. Cool. Mattrix, where are we going?
I've already had Isaiah Yo circled, so I'm not going to take him because you've taken your Panthers players, so I can leave him until basically last, if I'm being honest. Look, I'm worried about the Raiders, but I think I'll just take a bench guy from there. You guys have both tackled the Sharks quite early.
Sharks are still open for me.
Yeah, I've taken Nico. Sharks is open for Josh.
Okay. Permission to play Ben Hunt at 9.
Yeah, I'll allow that.
I'll allow that. That's fine.
Yeah, cool. I'm not going to do it.
You're a
Broncos might. Come there, Kevy.
This is some great audio content.
Thank you.
It gets tough when you start to. You got a few positions out now, right? We've picked 7-8 players. So now
couple of teams, you're like scraping the barrel. You're like, oh.
Yeah, bench. We're going to be looking at the bench and picking players like Emre Gula or something from the Raiders, I reckon. So you never know.
Yeah, I'm just going to take Isaiah Yo. I'm just going to shore up that middle there. I am a little bit worried that when it comes to bench guys, we can't always pick a bench guy. So I was a bit worried that one of you guys would try to play Isaiah Yo off the bench, which is probably fair at this point in the year. And I'm going to play Matt Burton at 6. So
nice. Good picks.
Nice. Remind me here. Have you guys picked a 13?
I have.
Mattrix,
I've got Isaiah.
You've picked a 13 as well. Okay, cool. We talked about prop being pretty wide, a pretty poor position from fantasy purposes when we're doing this draft. I'm permission to put Pat Carrigan at prop.
I will allow it.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Pat Carrigan is in the number 10 and the Broncos are off the board. Josh.
All righty. I am looking at the Cowboys, and there's not many options that I like, and I do have an open edge spot. So I'm going to be taking Jeremiah Nanai.
I thought he was going to say Bateman.
No, I'm stupid. I am going to take Jeremiah Nanai on one edge just because the drop off. The only other Cowboys I liked were Robson, and I already have a 9, and Dearden, and I already have a 6. So I'm going to be taking Nanai off the board. And that leaves me with a couple of spots, and I'm going to ask, do I take him or not? Because I might want to leave him. No, I'm going to leave him. All right. I'm just gonna do it because the team's fucked. I'm gonna take Matt Timoko from the Raiders at center.
Ooh, fair. You know what? Like he was a guy on my list for the Raiders, and that's where we're scraping the bottom of the barrel with options in that position. I feel like center's wide open though. Like there's so many other center positions you can take.
But it was him or it was a friend of the show, Hudson Young.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, he's still there for me, circled.
Yeah, but there's a couple of edges that I can also pick. So I've still got a couple of edges on the board that I don't mind. So I'm going to take Timoko. So back to you, Braino.
Yeah, that's exactly why I took Tarpany at the start, because I just didn't want to have this issue later down the track. So I've still got hooker, center, wing, both my edges open, and then my bench. So, I mean, it's starting to get pretty tough now with at hooker. There aren't a ton of options at hooker at the moment. There's some teams that have some hookers on my list at the moment but I would rather look elsewhere. And maybe it's a SuperCoach thing that I'm looking at. But who am I going to pick at hooker? You know what? I'm going to pick the man that has let me down more times than I can count.
Reed Marnie, baby.
That is Reed Marnie is in my team in the number 9. Welcome Reed Marnie to the team. Yeah, I would have probably taken Burton if I didn't take Munster. And that would have been Bulldogs off the board. There's still a couple of really nice options there for the Dogs, though, unfortunately. But Reed Marnie's the man. Otherwise, I'd be scraping. I'd be looking at Danny Levi again. We don't need that. Mattrix.
Matty.
I'm gonna go. Over the ocean, over to the Waz, and I'm gonna select Mitch Barnett with my second.
Pick.
Love that.
Good pick.
Yeah. Look, I was tempted by Roger Tuivasa-Sheck, but I do think with the playmakers I'm gonna select in the future. Look, it's okay. I can take a winger from anywhere. They'll score points, but Barnett gives me a bit of flexibility. I might even be moving him between front row forward and second row forward during the game to beat you guys. So that's great. Going back to back is always really hard, but I do think one of the highest upside players out there on the wing is Mulatalo. I'm a bit of a punter. You guys have taken Sharks guys. I'm like with Fafita, Crichton, and Yo. There's no space in my team for Britton Nickera. His impact would be ruined by being off the bench. So I'm going to go Mulatalo with my first winger. So back to you, Braino.
Oh, I'm in all sorts here, and I've realised what I've done to myself. And this is what makes it really tricky. Is you look at, holy shit, I can't pick any of these players, and that's the West Tigers, my own team, and I've left them. I can't pick. Obviously, Terrell May's gone. I can't pick Luai. All of these guys. Appy now. I've already picked a hooker. I could pick Appy off the bench.
You took Reed, I thought you'd take Appy.
I think you was like Appy.
Nah, because I wanted to keep the door open for the Tigers because there is one guy, just one.
Adam Dewey,
Jarrell Skelton.
Yeah,
and he's on the wing.
Shit. You had no chance of winning this.
Yeah, you had
I've got Brian To'o and Brian To'o Light in my team. Thank you very much. Don't you worry about me.
Jarrell Skelton and Brian To'o.
You have. Hey, Mum, can we have Brian To'o? No, we have Brian To'o.
No, we've got Brian To'o at home. Exactly. That's what I have. I've got Brian To'o at home. Thank you, Skelton. Welcome to the team.
Boys, bit of tactics from me. I've got the Roosters left open. And probably the best player in the comp to come off the bench. Connor Watson.
Yeah.
Number 14 written all over him. I'm gonna take a bench player despite not filling out my starting 13, but I think his value off the bench is going to provide a fair bit. And boys of the jury, I have a question to you. There is wild reports of him playing on the wing this year. How would you feel if I went over to the ditch and picked one Roger Tuivasa-Sheck?
Yeah, that's fine.
That's cool. I'm in.
Well played. I've got a centre, 2 edges, and my bench to fill. All right. Now the question becomes: do I pick a centre now, or do I start filling my edges? And I think for anybody who watched the My Guys episode, I'd be silly not to fill one edge spot with Dylan Lucas. So Dylan Lucas goes on into my 11 jersey. And you know what? I don't get two back-to-back
like
picks. You both do. So I'm picking kind of waiting for you guys to pick, and it's really tough to play and being right in the middle.
I feel sorry for you.
No, you don't. Let's move on. Who's next?
Is it me picking next?
I'm pretty sure it's yes.
Yeah, it's Matty.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. I'm gonna fill my other wing spot with Murray Talagi.
Nice. Good pick. I said nice
Yeah,
because
I've got
you've got
Mulatalo on one side. I've got Talagi on the other side. I have, I think, played this pretty well. I would have liked to be able to maybe play Cotter off the bench, but with the teams that I had left in the Bunnies, the Sea Eagles, the Dolphins, it's not like I really need to add Asako because I need another goal kicker. I've only got 7 of them. So yeah, Murray Talagi there for me. I am struggling a little bit to select some of the other spots. I'm not super worried about him getting taken, but I'm going to play JMK from the Dolphins at 9.
Nice.
Just working on that spine there. I still haven't selected a number 7, but Isaiah Katoa didn't make it for Mattrix Reloaded this year.
Nah, it's not an important position anyway, mate. You can just leave the 7 open. Should be right.
Yeah.
Edge, center, and bench. And it's starting to get pretty dire, isn't it? I've still got to pick. I've picked the Tigers player. I've got to pick a Roosters player. I've got to pick a Dragons player. I've got to pick a Warriors player. Cowboys, Manly, Titans are the 6 that I have to pick. And I think for me, I'm going to just get the Titans out of the way. And there is a man that could play 14 that I think could do a decent job, and that's AJ Brimson. So I'm going to pick AJ Brimson in the 14 jersey and get the Titans out of my life, because it's starting to get pretty thin with options there for the Titans. So yeah, Brimson in the 14.
Yeah, nice. Now it comes back to me. Now I've got a question. How would you feel if I moved Cameron Murray to an edge and moved Tino down to 13?
Well, I mean, yeah,
I'd be okay with that.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Well, that leaves the door wide open for a new recruit, Tricanola. It's Mr. Adam Fanua-Blake all the way in the 13th round.
That's real nice. Yeah, well
That's
played.
pretty good.
Yeah, very, very good. And I want to get I want to get the Dolphins out of the way. I'm going to pick the man who lit up the comp 2 years ago in his debut season for the Dolphins. That is Jermaine Asako on the wing.
Nice. Very nice. Oh, I'm in a tough spot here. All right. I've still got the Sydney Roosters here, but I'm really struggling for options at the Roosters. I can't pick Tedesco. I'm not going to play him off the bench. Just can I ask? You can't play like players like Tedesco off the bench, can we? It'd be a bit ridiculous.
You can if you want, but like people.
No, my structure would be awful. No, my structure would be terrible. Can't do it.
Yeah,
can't do it.
I think the problem is the structure would be great, and you should be burnt for that.
Fair. I'm not going to argue against it.
It's going to turn into the All NBA teams where we just pick fucking 5 centers.
It could. Yeah. Giannis and Jokic.
No All NBA team has 5 centers. They have no centers. That's the problem.
Yeah,
that's my gripe with it. But
yeah. All right, I need to get the Roosters off the board. Crichton's gone. I need to fill an edge, and I'm starting to get it's starting to get pretty tricky. So I'm probably going to need to look at a bench option from the Roosters. The Dragons are also very thin in terms of what I'm looking at the moment.
Yes.
God, this is awful. Waz can probably wait. Cowboys can actually. You know what? Permission to play Ruben Cotter on an edge.
Oh, we're pushing it.
Just play him off the bench, man.
No, I want to play him on an edge. Actually,
no.
You know what?
Decline.
No. All right, fine. If you decline that, Ola Kawatu's on the edge. Thanks.
Yeah, that's fine. That's better.
Yeah, that's better.
That'll do. First decline as well. Fuck you guys. I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's back to you.
Or is it to Matty?
No, it's me. I'm going to play Jerome Hughes. You guys picked your Storm players really early. Jerome Hughes has just been sitting there circled. Now's the time to bring him up before everybody tunes out. they can think of the greatness that is me getting Jerome Hughes in round 14. And Ben Hunt off the bench as a utility, if that's okay with you guys.
So you're moving Ben Hunt because you did pick him initially at 9.
No, I didn't. I asked.
Oh, no, you asked. You said, yeah, that's right.
Play him at 9, and then I said I'm not going to do it because I saw that you guys had selected, that Jeremy Marshall King was still sitting there at that point.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
So I'm going to select Ben Hunt as a bit of injury cover, taking a few minutes off JMK as well, splitting that. I'm pretty excited about my structure with him there. So
I like it. Well, I mean, I've got to find a centre somewhere, and I'm not loving many.
What team do you have left?
Cowboys, Warriors, Dragons, Roosters. Val's gone. So
Zach Laybutt's there.
Moses Sully's still on the board.
Yeah, good. Thanks. You guys are real help. Maybe I should take like Adam Pompey or something from the Warriors. That's when we're scraping the bottom of the barrel.
That'll win you some votes. Remember this,
I would rather you take Howie Liatawa than fucking Adam Pompey.
No. Adam Pompey's mum will pick your team, man. It's okay.
Yeah. Maybe he'll need to. Okay. Yeah, no, I've really butchered the centre position, I think. And
vote to not put this on audio.
I
saw you all raise your eyebrows quite early, but there was a reason because center is.
No, I like it. It makes plenty of sense. I'm just gonna give myself a little bit of extra time to find a center and play Ruben Cotter off the bench, and then that's the Cowboys gone. So Ruben Cotter's off the bench for me.
Nice. Well, it comes back to me for a bit of oomph off the bench. I'm going to take Leo Thompson from the Knights.
Okay. Yep. Nice.
I mean, who else is there from the Knights?
Yeah, there's not much. Fair call.
Yeah, that's why I took Ponga. It wasn't because I wasn't okay with getting Turbo or somebody like that. I'm like, at least there's other good players on the Sea Eagles.
And I'm going to not round out my bench. I've still got one spot left, but it's always good to have a bit of back row cover in your number 17 or a bigger body that can play through the middle if need be. And it's Origin rep Jaden Sewer.
Nice.
Yeah, okay.
I like it. That's fair. I'm still in trouble at centre. I need more time. I'm going to get the Dragons out of the way because I won't be getting Sully, I don't think. So Jack DeBellin.
Nice.
Off the bench.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, that'll do.
Permission to play Hudson Young off the bench.
Yeah, that's fine. You can play whoever you want off the bench. It's just you can't be like, can I play Jacob Carraz at 5'8" just because?
Yeah, no, that's all good. I just didn't know how that was going to go. And then I've got to select somebody from the Rabbitohs to also play off the bench.
I believe there might be a certain back rower with a repetition first and last name that hasn't been picked.
Yeah. Keon Kalamatangi?
That's who I was thinking, yes.
Yeah, no. I'm going to go Hudson Young, Keon Kalamatangi. Kalamatangi gives me a little bit of flexibility. I think that he can play at lock and a little bit at prop, having Hudson Young being a bit smaller and being able to play in the second row. Back to your centres, Braino.
I tell you what, we shouldn't be back to my centres. Ladies and gentlemen, this is how to butcher a draft by not picking a player in a position when there are no other players available. We're talking Warriors and Roosters. They're my two teams left. So I've got to pick a bench pick and a centre from one of these two teams. And RTS has been moved to the wing and you've taken him, Josh. So that makes complete sense. All right. Maybe I'll just take an upside pick.
Go on.
From the Roosters, and Mark Nwaganitawaze can come into my team and he can play at centre.
I hate that.
That's good. But you know what I did? I made my debut pronunciation of his name.
I appreciate that.
Thank you. Mattrix isn't there yet, which is why he left him on his draft board. So, but that's pretty much the only viable pick aside from Ali Leatawa. So
I've got I've got 2 picks left. I've got a bench middle and another position. So my bench middle, I'm going to take from the Parramatta Eels, Ryan Madison. And boys, all the way in round 17. I planned this from the start when you went early. In round 17, I am picking Tom Trbojevic.
Fuck off. Yeah, okay, yeah. Well played. Well played. That's good. I like it.
So I'm finished.
So talk to me about your bench. Sorry, what's your bench makeup at the moment? You got a utility.
My bench at 14 is Connor Watson.
Yeah,
I've got 2 good middles of Leo Thompson and Ryan Madison, and Jaden Stewart to round it out. But I've also got Cam Murray sitting on an edge that can definitely rotate through the middle. I've got Tino Fasul-Malawi that can rotate through the middle.
I like it.
But I've got a spine. I've got a spine of Tom Trbojevic, Jerome Luai, Nathan Cleary, and Harry Grant.
It's pretty nice. Well played, fair call. I like it. Well
for
done.
Anyone that's struggling along, I think I will try and whip up an edit of this tonight, and then we can see if we can whack the graphics up on screen at the end of it so you guys can see. But they'll be on my Instagram as well, probably tomorrow afternoon.
Perfect. My final pick is from the Waz, and I'm looking for so my bench is actually quite versatile. Jack DeBellin can play in the middle and on an edge. Ruben Cotter can play in the middle on an edge in a pinch. I've got Brimson who can basically cover anywhere in the back line. And I just want a guy that's going to relieve my big boys, my Tarpany and my Carrigan, at prop, and that's James Fisher-Harris from the Warriors. So yeah. He is in the 17 jersey for me. What a fall from grace for James Fisher-Harris to be on Brain Ball's 17. Poor James Fisher-Harris. But anyway, I've got the acronyms there, JDB and JFH, to round things out.
Oh, that's hot. I like that.
Yeah.
I've been looking at my team and I really like the strike weapons. I reckon on its day we could score cricket scores. We could raise the bat with, your Pongers, your Mulitalos, your Val, your Lomax, your Talagis. There's just so many targets for Hughes to hit. We've got the go forward in May and Barnett. We've got Fafita. We've got Crichton. We've got the best lock in the game in Yo. We've got Ben Hunt. We've got Hudson Young, and we've got Keon Kolomatangi. But do you know what we need off the bench, guys? Leadership. And I think that's a very important aspect of my team. So I am going to pick one Jake Trbojevic with the last bench spot. The captain of New South Wales. I think that he's a fantastic leader. I think it's invaluable. I actually think that when Jake Trbojevic retires, that he could be a coach of Mattrix Reloaded. And that's what I look for in a number 17.
Jesus Christ. What a wonder.
All right. Do we want to run through our teams top to bottom?
Yep, go for it.
All right. Fullback, it's Tom Trbojevic, just in round 17. I just want to add that one. Tom Trbojevic. On the wings, it's Jermaine Asako and Roger Tuivasa-Sheck. In the centres, it's Stephen Crichton, Matt Timoko. In the halves, it's Jerome Luai and Nathan Cleary. Packing down the middle, it's Adam Finnell-Blake and Payne Haas. Harry Grant locking them 2 down. Jeremiah Nanai and Cam Murray on the edges, Tino Fasul-Malawi at 13. And my bench is Connor Watson, Leo Thompson, Ryan Madison, and Jaden Stewart.
I don't know. The starting 13 is good, but I tell you what, the bench doesn't, the bench is a bit weak. What do you reckon, Mattrix?
Oh, 800K prop Leo Thompson, Connor Watson playing for Origin. To be fair, I was tossing up between Offa Hengawi and Ryan Madison. I didn't know which one to take. But
yeah, fair. You picked the worst one.
More vibes.
Yeah, I do struggle with his bench a little bit, but I knew that. I'd planned ahead, and that's why I took some Knights, guys. Obviously, Josh hadn't planned ahead, and that's why he got Turbo in round 17. So.
How about you tell us your team, Mattrix?
I love in the group chat before this, and we're having a little bit of fun. We're going a little bit over, but in the group chat, Josh is asking all the questions. He's like, "Oh, I'm going to write notes." I'm like, "I'm just going to wing it if that's okay with you guys." And I have. But I do have my pen and notepad. There's a lot of notes written down on my page. And it is 1, Kalen Ponga, 2, a Mulitalo, Val and Lomax in the centres, Murray Talagi out there on the wing. I've got Burton with the big boot in there at 6. I've got Hughes at 7. I've got Terrell May and Barnett as my front row forwards. I've got JMK at 9. I've got Fafita, Crichton and Yo in my 10, 11, and 12. I've got Ben Hunt as my number 14 bench utility. I've got Hudson Young to come in through the second row. I've got Keon Kolomatangi to filter through the middle in there. And I've got Jake Trebojevic for quote-unquote vibes.
And leadership.
I think Shelley's got negative vibes.
No, I tell you what, he looks like he's a mad surfer.
He does. He lives in Manly. He's got to surf, surely. It's got to be a prerequisite. My team, I have Latrell Mitchell in the fullback position. I have Brian To'o and my boy Jarrell Skelton on the wings. I've got Herbie Farnworth and Mark Nwaganitawaze at centre. I have Cam Munster at 5'8", Nico Hines at halfback, Tarpany and Carrigan at prop. I have Reed Marnie, the pest. I needed a pest. I needed a grub in my team. So Reed Marnie's there in the 9. I've got Dylan Lucas and Hamoli Olakawatu on the edges. Hopgood locking down the scrum. And then I've got Brimson in the 14 as the utility. Cotter, Jack DeBellin, and James Fisher-Harris on the bench. So, guys, this has actually been really fun. I've really enjoyed this more than I thought I would. But make sure you vote in the comments who you think the best team is, who you think the worst team is. Roast us, do what you need to do, and let us know what you think of our teams. And I urge you to give it a go yourself. Get together with friends and give it a crack, because this was actually much more fun and challenging, I must admit, than I thought it was, Josh.
Yeah, if I'm going to give anyone out there some tips, if you are drafting, don't take players from Manly when you know that your friends don't have a fullback and they can just wait until the very end to pick arguably the best fullback in the world.
You mean second best behind Latrell, right?
At least I don't have Leo Thompson.
I was just going to say, if you're reading Supercoach Twitter, it'd be third behind Isaiah Yongi.
If you're reading our draft board, you're probably looking at fucking fifth from Mattrix. So we'll leave that one there.
It's true. And like I love that you got Turbo late, but I took Ponga so I didn't have to have Leo fucking Thompson. So congratulations, man.
Bullocks pay $800K a year, so they clearly see something that Adam
we
O'Brien's
don't.
not.
Yeah, I'm not Gus. I'm better.
Good. Probably a good place to leave it, I think, today, guys. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you had as much fun as we did. We had a ball. But, give it a go with your friends. But we've got plenty of Supercoach content, fantasy content and things coming in the future. We've got a brand new show that's coming within the next 2 to 3 weeks before the season starts with Josh and a very special surprise guest that we'll announce at a later date. So keep an eye out on that. Plenty happening on Insight as well. So make sure you subscribe, hit the like, hit the follow, leave us a review, and we'll see you for the next episode. Thanks for watching. Catch you later.
Cheerio.